Yeah. Oh man, we are live. It's Ekse right here on Cape Town TV. It's a Wednesday afternoon. The weather is absolutely beautiful in the mother city. Welcome to it, man.
Sound care, baby. Sciences, technology, engineering, mathematics is the order of the day. As you know that this is SciTech Wednesday. It's a Wednesday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to it. Well, you know that a water shortage is something of a norm right here in South Africa. So we are honored to have Ekse to Michelle, not Justine, abavela kwa Aquasky, turning air into water.
That sounds amazing.
I
cannot wait to drink this. You know, as much water is polluted, it's good to have people who are very creative when it comes to that industry. Also, we'll be joined by, we'll also have a talk with Dr. Kevin Winter, all the way from UCT, who's a water expert. He's going to tell us more about his amazing work. And of course, a UCT student doing PhD in chemical engineering is, of course, here. She's won a PETCO Award for her brilliant work. You want to find out what that is all about? You have to make sure you stick around on the show.
People from Langabana are a little bit distressed and upset because people want to do fish farming. Well, I'll be heading over to a Table Bay hotel to try and save Langaban, Langagoon, Langaban, something, where Abandube fisheries are going to be able to save their fish, let the court be in their favor.
Oh man, that sounds actually, I don't know man, I don't know about that, but we're gonna see what the court decides when it comes to Ilangabai Lagoon, where Abandube City fishing is something that actually, I don't know about that. I love fish. Do you love fish?
I enjoy fish. You can follow us on Twitter, it's Ekse_. Live on Facebook, it's Ekse on Cape Town TV. That number to dial is 021-448-0448. It will be very useful to you if you would love to be in the world of television. Well, Cape Town TV and MIC CETA offer only 20 young people who want to make television happen. Well, this internship will be starting on the 1st of October till next year. If you want to be part of TV making, let's say you camera operator, graphic operator, vision mixing, producing, floor managing, this is the place to be. Applications are being closed on the 16th of September, which is next week. You can email your CV to training@capetowntv.org.
Well, that sounds amazing. Do make sure you grab on the opportunity and make sure you join Cape Town TV. But right now, it's time for my favorite part of the show, which is SciTech News
with Melikaya Mzi. But this water is very tasty.
Is it? Is it like the...
Ndibambe ngazo zozibini kwigqiza lethu elichubekileyo abasasazi Llama Moon no Sinalo Jonas. Dinamkele kwidesika yendaba ezingenzululwazi nobuchwepheshe. Elami igama ndikuMelikaya Mziba. Inqaku lokuqala. Uhlobo olutsha olithe laveliswa ngabaphandi lokugcina amalungu omzimba athi anikelwe ngabantu luzokwandisa ixesha lokuba lamalungu alungele ukusetyenziswa emva kwexesha elide. Eliqela lithe lenza eliphando libonise ukuba amalungu omzimba anjengesibindi ngoku azokwazi ukuhlala ixesha elide egcinwe kwizikhenkcezisi elungele ukusetyenziswa kubanye abantu. Ezinzululwazi zithe zavelisa iikhemikhali ezizothi zisetyenziswe ukugcina la malungu omzimba. Umongameli nokwayi-CEO yequmrhu i-Organ Preservation Alliance uJedida Lewis uthe obu buchule buza kuba lilutho kakhulu kubantu behlabathi jikelele njengoko lukhula mihla le inani labantu abathi banikele ngamalungu omzimba. Bachulumancile kakhulu ababaphandi ziziphumo zomsebenzi wabo njengoko le ndlela iza kutshintsha indlela endala ebekusenziwa ngayo apho bekunyanzeleka zigcinwe kumaqondo abandayo afikelela ku-4 degrees Celsius. Inqaku lesibini, iinzululwazi zithe zafumana ingqokelela yamathambo entloko ezinyanya zabantu ababephila kwiminyaka emininzi eyadlulayo kwijanali esandula kukhutshwa. Le ngqokelela yala mathambo ichazwe njengenenkangeleko efanayo namathambo okhokho awathi afumaneka kwiminyaka emininzi eyadlulayo kwimpuma yelizwekazi iAfrika nasemzantsi Afrika. Ukwabikwe okokuba ngonyaka ka-1986 ingcali yamathambo kwilizwe laseKenya yathi yafumanisa amathambo abantu nalapho uphando lwabonakalisa ukuba ngabantu ababephila kwiminyaka eyi-270,000 kunye ne-300,000 eyadlulayo. Ababaphandi banethemba lokuba uphando lwabo luyakuza neempendulo ezikubantu belizwekazi iAfrika ukuba baqala nini na abantu kufudukela kweli lizwekazi. Bakwathe la mathambo anomahluko kakhulu njengoko enezilevu ezingaqhelekanga kunathi bantu baphila kule minyaka siphila kuyo. Inqaku lesithathu nelilogqibela namhlanje Osomajukujuku amaxesha amaninzi sibazi njengabantu abasoloko behleli kwizitishi zabo besabelana ngemifanekiso abathi bayithathe xa besemajukujukwini. Kodwa kule mihla baba nee-experiments abathi bazenze. Okokuqala ngqa osomajukujuku benze ikonkrithi emajukujukwini apho badibanise isanti, igrabile namatye ezixutywe nesamente nomxube wamanzi. Abasomajukujuku bazibandakanye ne-microgravity investigation of cement solidification. Injongo yayo yonke lento ikukuba baqonde ichemistry yeconcrete etshintsha nge-zero gravity. Imibuzo emile okokuba iyokoma njani, iya kuphuma iyilento banqwenela ibe yiyo, utshilo umphandi ophambili ophuma kwidyunivesithi yasePennsylvania State. Le mixube ithe yathelekiswa naleyo yenziwe emhlabeni kwafumaniseka ukuba inomahluko kakhulu njengoko imo yezulu yasemajukujukwini yahlukile kunale yasemhlabeni. Kukangako besinako kwidesika yeendaba ezingenzululwazi nobuchwepheshe de kube lithuba elizayo. We are 99 million times better than any other show in the land. Inkqubo yakho, inkqubo yam, inkqubo yethu sonke, Side Wednesday, kamnandi.
Welcome back, Sabule Ekse, right here on Cape Town TV, the best youth show in the land. Inkqubo yakho, inkqubo yam, inkqubo yethu sonke. So you tuned in with Sinalo Jonas, better known as Uputfliki. Right about now, we are joined by water expert Dr. Kevin Winter, all the way from the Future Water Institute at the University of Cape Town. He's also one of the founders of the Peninsula Paddle, which took place this Sunday. He's going to tell us more about that and how it went and what he's currently doing with his career being a water expert. Dr. Kevin, welcome on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much for the invite.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. We know you're currently busy. You're currently attending a conference in Joburg, so it means such a pleasure for us to have you and actually speak with you. Let's now talk about the Peninsula Paddle, which took place on Sunday. How different was this year compared to the previous years?
Well, we began this paddle, by the way, in 2010. There was just 4 of us, and we paddled and tried to paddle, put it that way, across the Cape Flats area from Muizenberg through to Milnerton.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time we were actually outside of our boats, pulling them behind us because we couldn't paddle in parts of the rivers where the water hyacinth, the weed, and the levels of pollution in terms of litter and plastics in the water made it really difficult.
Yeah.
And 10 years on, we've enjoyed some really good years. So some of our best years have been from about 2012 until last year. The one we've just done felt, unfortunately, like we'd regressed. We'd gone all the way back to what it looked like in year 1. And there were parts of the canals and parts of the rivers that were really badly polluted, particularly with litter and loads of plastic litter and all sorts of other things, from dogs, cats, all sorts of strange things we picked up on the journey.
Wow, that sounds incredible. The work that you've done since 2010 until now, it seems like this is such a great initiative. I understand that you've actually uncovered some appalling levels of pollution in the city's waterways. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, I think that we saw through in the retreat in Steenberg area where there are canals and people are living in very dense settlements and housing that's right up against the canals, much like we see in places like Kailicha, for instance. And so we saw lots of pollution there. And just by the way, we were actually paddling with the Kailicha Canoe Club. And Sianda, as we talked and walked in parts of the canals, Sianda, I think, was saying to me, this is just appalling. And when you come to see some of the things that they've done in the wetlands in Kailicha, he said, this is the answer. We've got to bring people together and work with our bare hands to fix it up. And I'll maybe talk a bit more about that just now. But certainly the loads of pollution shocked Sianda and others from the Kailicha and also the paddlers that were with me on the day.
Wow.
We measured things like bacteria in the water, which is really high in one place, in 2 places, in fact, particularly along the Black River, and some other pollutants as well. But essentially not in a good condition is the overall findings that we got from that Sunday's paddle.
Wow. Let's talk. You said you've seen so much water pollution. while walking the streets of culture. Let's talk about what can be done to educate normal citizens like me about water pollution. What more can be done?
Well, I think a lot of this plastics and materials and a whole lot of other things, but essentially those are the two categories: plastic materials, cardboards, paper, and so on, that finds its way into the river. And a lot of it is because people have actually found themselves with very little choice. And I don't mean that as an excuse so that people can simply continue to throw things into the canals, but it is a position that we find ourselves in South Africa with high inequalities and spatial inequalities across our city, that we are seeing underserviced parts of the city, and that's what happens. People find themselves, what do I do with a bag of rubbish? Well, the only place I can do is to try and get rid of it and put it into the canal, and hopefully it just goes away. And of course, it doesn't go away. It finds its way all the way down the river, down the canals, eventually out to sea. And then we see companies trying to struggle to create drinking water from polluted seawater. And of course, it does a whole lot of other damage out there as well. So look, it's a very, very serious thing. And I don't think we, first of all, are taking this seriously enough. And we're not addressing both inequalities and underservices in the city, but we're also not taking seriously what is really happening is this pathway of plastics and pollution and dirty water, which is highly contaminated, and it finds its way into the sea. I think that the answer, just by the way, is what we do on the paddle. And when we started in 2010, and we've now gathered more and more people to come paddle with us and to enjoy the waterways. This last Sunday, we had between 70 and 80 people on the water at various stages, and it's about actually appreciating the value of that water offers. It's a recreational value. We had tremendous fun on the water, despite the fact that it was dirty. It was a great journey to undertake this kind of thing. And the Kailicha Canoe Club guys have got the same idea, and they started theirs in 2013, and they've got a whole lot of youth who are paddling with them in the cleared wetland in Kailicha. They've got about a kilometer and a half of water that they paddle up and down. And I think it's just great. It's giving us a whole new understanding of how we should be treating water. And it's not a punishment to clean up and to do things, but if you can take that's what is not a fun thing to do in cleaning up, but you can end up enjoying that water by paddling and having fun and talking to your friends and just general recreation. That's fantastic. I take my hats off to them.
I actually love the idea of paddling. It sounds very cool, because I think in order for us to do these activities and clean water, we need something cool along the way to do. I like the idea of chatting with friends and actually cleaning water through paddling. It sounds very cool. But also, speaking of clean water, you took samples of water and you found E. coli bacteria. Tell us a bit about that. What is E. coli bacteria, and how does it actually affect human beings? How does it actually affect human beings who drink water?
That's a great question, because we hear E. coli sometimes reported a lot in the news, and it's the one bacteria that we can measure relatively quickly. It's not the only bacteria, but it's a bacteria that it gives us an indication as it gets higher and higher in terms of the counts, as it were, of that bacteria, the more it becomes potentially a carrier of germs that might affect us. And let me say that it comes largely from either animals or from humans. You and I have millions of E. coli bacteria in our bodies. And with that, some of those will have a germ or pathogen in it, especially when it finds its way through various sources into open water like we're paddling through. And it's just a measure, an indication of how serious it might be. So when we measure, for instance, 1 million or more E. coli bacteria in the Black River, that could be potentially very harmful to us. You shouldn't have contact with water more than 1,000. So now we're orders of magnitude higher in terms of the bacteria that we measured. And of course, we shouldn't be drinking water with bacteria in, because it offers a potential health risk.
You've mentioned the fact that we need clean water. There's E. coli bacteria. What other bacteria are there? Just to name a few, what other bacteria can people be informed about?
Yeah, well, I think you can find a lot of things that you get diarrhea from. So let me just give one. Salmonella is a bacteria, and people often find themselves cooking with chicken, for instance, that is been refrozen and cooked again, and you can get that bacteria through food poisoning in that way. But there are many bacteria that are in our water treatment system. They can't always treat them 100% by any means, and they find their way into the water. And of course, we shouldn't be drinking that water. We maybe can use that water for other things, but our bodies sometimes can't take the bacteria and certainly the pathogens or germs that come with them.
Yeah, the month of September actually marks National Clean Up and Recycle Month. So let's. What message do you have for Cape Townians out there?
Well, I think, fortunately, all the news that the Peninsula Paddle generated has already got city officials involved. And so some of them met yesterday on the river to try and look to see whether they could both put in litter nets and try and capture some of that, and also to take out some of the litter that we were reporting on. So that's the good news. The city reports and picks up those reports and is trying to do something about it. But actually, the city is overwhelmed, and we will never win the day if we leave this entirely to a city. This is a citizen problem. This is something that we've got to address at a much bigger level. And of course, the thing that we're quite bad at is that we generate a lot of waste. Even if we are relatively poor, we still generate some waste, and particularly those who are living in underserviced areas don't know what to do with it. And so we've got to get that right. We've got to find ways in which we service poor urban areas, informal settlements, much better, where some of the litter is coming from. It's not the only place, but certainly I think that attention needs to go to that. And then lastly, for everybody, I'm not singling out any particular one group, we need to be much more careful now about our water resources and the quality of that water. We've been through day zero, that's affected us, and we all look to how are we going to get more supply. If we mess up the supply that we have and the water quality that we've got, we're in an even worse state. We are hitting day zero in this sense in a very different way, because actually poor water quality ends up making us all very unhealthy. And so there's multiple ways in which you've got to do this. But for me, the Peninsula Paddle is starting those conversations and then seeing if we can empower people and enable them to start acting together. And it has to be a together thing.
Wow, definitely it has to be a together thing. We have to clean water together. Speaking of cleaning water together and making sure that we have water that is not polluted, how do normal citizens get involved?
Yeah, so that is a good question too, because I think there are in fact a lot of community-based organizations that are doing small things, trying to clean things up where they can. I think that the involvement is really crucial to find a group that is able to assist. So I've been involved for at least 20 years in the Friends of the Liesbeck, and we've learned a great deal about rivers, water quality, how to work together, how to empower each other and encourage each other to keep on keeping fixed on the ideas and goals that we've got. But I think we need a bigger summit. I think that this doesn't necessarily mean 100 more groups that are going to go and set them up and make a difference. What we probably need in the city of Cape Town is a large summit that crosses the whole parts of the city, that involves people who are going to become actively concerned about sharing a new goal to work together. I think we reached the stage where that's an absolute must.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Well, Dr. Kevin, because of time, we're going to have to end the interview here. Thank you so much. It was an honor having you. And of course, good luck with the conference in Joburg.
Thank you so much indeed. And thank you for the call. Thank
you so much. Well, that is, of course, water expert, Dr. Kevin Winter. But right now, we're going to take a quick breather. More to come right here on Ekse.
Welcome back to the biggest, the baddest, and the most hip and happening show in the motherland. Kube yethu sonke sifika ngasi galelekile darlings. This is Ekse Live. We're taking you right through to the hour 5, bringing you nothing but sciences, technology, engineering, as well as mathematics. It is a Wednesday afternoon. My name is Llama Moon, and he is
Sinalo Jonas, better known as Uputfliki. Thank you so much for joining us as we give you nothing but the best of edutainment. Speaking of education, we are joined by a young lady who's doing great things all the way from the Chemical Engineering Department, AUCT. She saw herself, her incredible work, saw herself winning a PETCO in excellent academia, right?
yeah, those are good news.
Very good news.
But let me tell you about the bad news that we're bearing. It's pollution plastic.
Tis a one.
Said that it's outnumbered. If the current trend persists, they're gonna outnumber the number of stars in the galaxy. And in 2050, the plastic in the ocean might or will outnumber the number of fish that is in the ocean.
Why are
so climate change is a real thing, and we are responsible for that, and we're killing the planet.
But Takunda, what's your take on that? Why are we still producing plastic if plastic is danger to what's on the ocean?
Well, right now, yes, plastic pollution is a huge problem. But I think we need to go back to why we ended up with plastic in the first place.
Yeah.
Right. So plastic is cheap to make. It's made from a byproduct of refining oil, which we use to make petrol. Secondly, it's durable.
Yeah.
You know, it keeps your packaging fresh. So it has a purpose. And environmentally, remember when we had climate change becoming a big issue? In comparison to things like paper, it had a lower global warming footprint.
Yeah.
But the thing we didn't anticipate is the fact that people would litter. So now we're sitting with this magic material that we thought was great 50 years ago, and we're like, oof, guys, maybe we should rethink this.
I think we should.
Yeah.
If it's killing animals in the ocean, then something needs to be done about that.
Yeah, Sinalo touched based on you winning some awards. So take us through the work that you did, the research that you did that led you winning these academia awards.
So this award, the PETCO Excellence in Academia, came from a paper that I published beginning of this year. So when we started talking about, you know, my PhD research, one of the big questions we had was, look, we know plastic pollution is a problem, but exactly which plastic products are the real problem? So I went out and I did some surveys along the beach. So I spent every morning picking up litter on the beach. Very beautiful. Not so great work, but from that we're able to say, look, of the top 10 items you find the most, they account for 40-57% of all the litter.
Wow.
Those 10 items, it's your chip packets, your single sweet wrappers, your lollipops. It's things that we take from going from A to B. Things that the youth, which is why I'm glad you're today,
Like
consume the
straws.
most. Your straws, you know, things you don't think about.
Yeah.
So we're able to actually say, look, plastic is a problem. It's not all plastic. This is where we should focus our efforts.
Wow. So plastic is not the only problem. I think that we use when we go to the beach. Maybe there should be laws that actually restrict us from using those kind of things at the beach. Because the only law that I can think of is not being able to drink. Let's talk about how does it feel at this level? You're doing your PhD at UCT. How does it feel for your work to be recognized at this level?
It's an honor.
Yeah.
As I did my work, I was very conscious of the fact that sometimes you just do research and it goes in a journal and then it sits in the library and no one in the world ever hears about it. But now, you know, it shows that the people I want to know about it, industry, the people who have the power, have noticed it. And now that I'm sitting here with you, you know, the community gets to hear about it, and that dissemination of work is what needs to change, in my opinion. So.
Wow, talking about black excellence.
Yeah, speaking of black excellence, Yazi, sometimes you need a mentor, somebody who's gonna guide you in the right direction so that you can explore your dreams and make them become a reality. And you've worked with one of a kind, Professor Harrow. Tell us about working with him and what impact he had on your academic life.
Harrow, my supervisor, is an inspiration. He has a brilliant mind, and you know, he's really nurtured me and mentored me and pushed me to be an independent researcher. So the amount of support that I received to him, you know, during this journey is just, I can't express how much it means to me.
Wow. You're doing great things. You know, I love black excellence, especially when it comes to young, incredible women, young black women who are doing great things. Because we've seen in the chemical engineering, most it's man, white man, doing all the work. It's good to see young people like you doing great things. And you're also one of the top 10 young scientists at awarded the fellowships at a Commonwealth universities to actually find ways in how we can tackle the issue of plastic in our beaches. Tell us a bit about that, and how does that make you feel?
So the Association of Commonwealth Universities has a Blue Charter Fellowship that aims to investigate ways to reduce plastic marine pollution. So also looking at alternative materials. So one of the things they recognize is this is a complex global problem.
Yeah.
So it's not only South African.
It's everywhere. I mean, the most remote island will have plastic waste on it. And they want to facilitate knowledge transfer so we can learn from each other and teach each other and actually come up with solutions. So one of the things was they awarded these fellowships, and I'm very lucky to be one of the 10 chosen.
Yeah.
And I actually get to go to New Zealand to conduct research there and learn from them, and then also share what I've learned to see how can we solve this problem.
Have you started with the research already? Have you started exchanging ideas already? And what are some of the solutions, innovative ways that you guys maybe shared, if you have?
So in terms of with New Zealand, we've decided on the research project, because I'm going to be replicating what I'm doing here, trying to find out what is their problem, trying to compare, they're a developed country, we're developing, what are the differences? Or what are the parallels?
Yeah.
And then seeing how can they come up with their own strategies and solutions based on their problems, which is somewhat what we've been doing this side.
Yeah.
Speaking of solutions, September 20th is National Recycling Day.
Yeah.
So Takunda, I want to find out from you, what are the best recycling methods that we can start practicing today? Something that's not difficult, something that is simple, that anybody walking out from the studio can start doing.
The simplest thing you can do is separate your waste.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of the fact that not everyone has access to recycling facilities in their homes. I don't have access to recycling at my home. I have to take my recycling to my brother's house. But a simple thing like you take your plastic bottles, your plastic containers, put them in their own rubbish bag.
Yeah.
Because we have collectors collecting from landfills.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them if they find a bag that has recyclables that are clean. You've made their job a lot easier. So just start with separating your waste.
Yeah. You said earlier on that using plastic is cheaper, it's easy to recycle, people can use it over and over again. What are other materials that we can use instead of using plastics? Because I'm sure that's the question everyone is using. If we can't use plastic,
what do you want me to
use?
I love this question because everyone is on a drive to find something that's not plastic.
Yeah.
And my response is always be careful. Because it's not just about marine pollution. You mentioned climate change.
Yeah.
Don't go and choose a metal bottle.
Yeah.
Metal is mined. Mining is a big contributor to global warming. So be conscious of the choices you make. Be informed. If someone tells you, what, I've got this miracle product for you, you're gonna love it, take a step back.
Yeah.
Do your own Google search and find out about it. But simple things you can do day to day, reusable shopping bag. I carry a bag wherever I go, just whip it out, do that. I carry my own flask. If I need coffee, I just use my flask at, Feed or whatever. So little things in your own life that you can do will make a difference.
I thought I was the only one who carries a huge bag when they go shopping. I literally carry a huge bag when I do clothing, and then I just, instead of having lots of plastic, I just put everything there.
So you put your shoes, your chocolate in there.
Everything, then you just go.
Your squash, your grapes.
I am telling you.
Must be nice. The Department of Environmental Affairs is considering a ban of single plastic use. So do you think this is the only way or the best way to curb waste in our country?
So there are certain products that would be ideal to ban. So things like your polystyrene clamshells. Those have a ready alternative. Those don't really get recycled. But I would say be careful about using bans because people think bans are a solution.
Yeah.
In South Africa, if you check out the Stats SA household survey, a third of South Africans don't have access to regular waste removal. So we've got a big problem with our waste management infrastructure. So a ban is not going to be a magic solution. There needs to be an overhaul of the entire waste management system for us to truly tackle this waste problem that we have.
For sure. Speaking of South Africans, speaking of citizens, how do normal civilians get involved in making sure that we do not pollute our beaches?
Use a bin.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
like,
they're everywhere. They're
groundbreaking
everywhere.
advice, guys. Put your trash in a bin.
Yeah.
If there's no bin, put it in your pocket. Like I get home and I have to empty my bag because I've got all those, the little sweet packets.
I
Get
know
a
what you're
restaurant,
talking about.
You've got them and then you put them in the bin. So I'm like a little trash lady carrying my own trash
You should see
because
my
there's no
bag.
bins around.
It's a bin.
It's a mess. Not a bin, it's a mess.
Shut up.
So put your stuff in the bin.
Yeah.
That will go a long way. Don't throw it out the window. Put it in your pocket. I mean, it's what, 2 grams of plastic? You can't say, oh, it's heavy. Can you be serious?
We want to look neat and smart and elegant.
But nobody can see what's happening inside your bag. Come on. I'm talking about there is a young person who's watching TV right now and thinking, oh my goodness, this lady is such an inspiration. I want to take after her. I want to follow on her footsteps. You're leaving footprints behind you and people are watching. What best advice would you give to that person? What do they do? Words of encouragement, really.
Be passionate. If you find something that you love, be passionate about it. Don't be shy. If you see someone that you admire, email them. You know, DM them on Twitter. Don't be creepy about it. But, you know, just say, hey, I really admire your work. Can you give me some advice? Because one of the things that I've learned the most is learning from other people. Find yourself a mentor. You know, that makes a big difference in your journey.
Yeah.
And the one thing I'll say is don't be afraid to forge your own path.
Of course. Speaking of DMing, and don't be creepy.
I think they should DM me. I think people should DM me.
How do they follow you on social media?
So my Twitter handle is Takunda YC. And I'm not on Instagram. I'm not figured
She's
that
on
out
Twitter,
yet.
guys, and
I'm
Twitter
on
is very
Twitter.
traumatizing nowadays. But if you'd like to follow and see some of incredible work, to make sure you go on Twitter right now at Takunda. But right now, there's something horrible happening in Langabai, Lagoon, coast, where people are actually drawing up papers actually to impose and actually hold commercial fishing.
Yeah, they want to start fish farming, and this is impacting the community because generations before this one grew up fishing by a lagoon.
Yeah.
Now, if they start fish farming, that means the environment is going to go to the left, because fish are going to be the water is going to become contaminated and the fish are going to start dying, and we won't have fish in the near future
To eat.
Yeah, so we
why
went
is,
to the
why is the
hotel.
government doing this?
We're going to hear them. Let's check it out. Thank you for in a bid to stop commercial farming, Public Interest Group was formed in 2017 in Gamalabo. Save the Langaban Lagoon. So bazolwa ne Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries namhlanje bonke media groups so that they can hear their pleas, so that we can be their advocates, so that you, the public, know what's going to happen in the future. Ye economy yaselangaban should this law be passed. So let's go inside and find out what the impact and the effects of this should the bylaw be handed over by the High Court. Hopefully that's not going to happen. It's a Wednesday afternoon. We're telling you everything about sciences, technology and mathematics. Stick with us. This is Ekse Live. My name is Llama Moon, and thank you for choosing us as your source of information. Right now I'm chatting to Solon Smith, chairperson Pagwi Langaban Fishers. So she's from the community and she has a first-hand experience of what the department is trying to do. Now, Solon, the question begs, how does the community feel about implementation of fish farming?
We are against the way they do it because they not consulted, and we as fishers are born and bred in Langaban, so we want to know what happened in Langaban. We want to be part and parcel of what happened in Langaban. So I believe in co-management. We must do things now as co-management. We must have the department, the fishers, everybody, every role player who are involved in fishing must be on that committee, that we can decide what is good for us or what is good for them. Because now we don't want top-down decisions, we want decisions making by ourselves. We want to have a co-management that we can sit together and decide it, because this thing was now bottom down decision and everybody think now, okay, it's again people who decided for us.
Well, you've heard the talk inside. We need need to save the Langaban Lagoon, and seated next to me, Jennifer, which is we legal advisor as well as a media liaison when it comes to SLL. Now, Jennifer, so what does this mean for the fishing community of Langaban should this law be, if the High Court decides, okay, the department can go ahead and do this if we fail?
Well, here I speak as on behalf of Save Langaban Lagoon, but one of our members is Celine Smith, who is the chairperson of the Small Scale Fishers Association known as Coastal Links in Langaban. And we've been working very closely with her and her community on the threat of this aquaculture development zone. This aquaculture development zone will mean that they will not be able to access their traditional fishing grounds. So anybody listening to this might say, well, why not go somewhere else?
Sure.
The small-scale fishers have small craft. Already it costs them an enormous amount to be able to put fuel into their crafts to get to their traditional fishing grounds, which are quite close inshore. If they're prevented from accessing those fishing grounds, how are they going to get to fishing grounds that are deeper?
Yeah.
With what kind of equipment? Are their boats going to be suitable for that? And are they actually going to get licenses to fish in those areas?
Okay, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for the job that you're doing. People from Langaban, I'm sure they appreciate all that you're doing. We need to save the environment.
We certainly do, and thank you for this opportunity. Spread the word. We need your support.
You also need to do that. It's Ekse_live on Twitter, on Facebook. It's Ekse on Cape Town TV. That number to dial to get in contact. Redefining and reorganizing, reshifting, reshuffling the point of order when it comes to education and entertainment is what we are known to be doing between the hours of 4 and 5. This is the biggest show in the motherland. It's Ekse_live. You're watching it with the boys, Llama Moon, as well as Sinalo Butfliki, bringing you the biggest, the baddest, and the most hip and happening show in the motherland, baby. It's channel 263 on your DSTV. So tell a friend to tell a friend, Ukuti, we are here. We are here to educate, to inform, and educate.
Definitely 1 hour of nothing but the best of edutainment. We are here to make sure you are informed right about now.
Yes, right
you have
about now.
something for us.
If you are looking to be part of TV making, and especially if Uhlalape Cape Town, you need to be able to commute to Observatory where we are stationed, and you could be part of a formidable team that makes live television as well as pre-recorded shows. You need to have an entry year level 5. Skills give vocational training in media and TV production. You need to be between the ages of 18 and 35. The internship incorporating camera operations, sound technology, graphics, vision mixing, video editing, set designing, production, journalism, marketing, media sales, and a whole lot more. You can go to our website, which is www.capetowntv.org, or our Facebook fan page, which is Cape Town TV, and obtain your forms. You need to fill in those forms, drop them here at number 18 Lower Scott Road in Observatory, or email them schooltraining@capetowntv.org no later than the 16th of September. And who knows, you could be starting off a TV career right here on Cape Town TV, because we are the People's Channel. So all the best to you and everybody else. It commences from the 1st of October right till next year.
Wow, and you get to work with me. Why would you want to work with me?
Why would they want to work with you?
No, because you can see why. Right about now, Llama, water shortage is a huge problem as we face climate change, and many companies across the globe are trying to find alternative ways to save lamans that we currently have.
Yeah.
Right about now, we're joined by Justine and Michelle, all the way from Aquasky. They're here to tell us more about this amazing company, what do they do, and how they go about saving water. Guys,
yeah, I'll tell you this for sure. Jesus turned water into wine. But you guys are turning air into water. Magic.
Brilliant.
Well, thanks for having us. It's a pleasure.
Thanks so much. Brilliant show. Thanks so much.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
please
you.
have a sip.
Yes,
we want to have a
taste
sip
it.
and see how harvesting water
Cheers.
from the air actually feels like.
Taste it.
Okay, everyone in the crew is asking for their own water. No, this is for the TV presenters, guys.
Yeah.
Sounds incredible.
It tastes like yes.
Guys, Llama is so excited to have you. He's so excited to drink this water. Let's talk about
been
this
having it.
idea of harvesting water from the air. How did it come about?
Okay, so our director, he came about it from when he was traveling up north in the Northern Cape, and he realized how much water shortage there actually is in this country. I mean, Cape Town, we went through a massive water shortage, and you know, we have filled up, the dams have filled up a bit, but he said you go even further north and you realize how bad the water is. And he was thinking the same thing. What do I do? How can I get around this, and how can I help find water and come up with a solution? And he did a lot of research, and he came across atmospheric generated water machines. And he said, well, let me try that, but I'm going to go one step further, and I'm going to actually plug in a bottling plant straight into these machines. So that's how he started, and he started it roughly 2 years ago. And we've moved from Kalani Gardens, which is here local, and we moved just over the hill to the Winelands in Paarl, so much bigger facility, much bigger place.
Wow.
You show beautiful skin. You look very hydrated.
It's from
I
all
guess
the
you have this
Aquasky
every day.
I've been
I'm definitely
drinking,
drinking
yes.
this. Thank you so much.
What I want
This
to
is my beauty secret.
I think I need to follow suit. What I need to find out is water generated from the air different from water sourced from underground?
Yes, it is very different. So instead of taking it out of the ground and which is not a very which is not a very good way of taking water because it can run out. So they take it from the air, and if you use humid air, it's a lot easier because then they use machines to draw the water out. So it's so it's a lot different, and it's a lot better. It's a much better and easier way to take water.
How is the process like? Take us through the process of changing the air that we breathe, Llama.
So you haven't done geography because there's water vapor and then it.
I did business.
Look, it's quite interesting, but it's been around for a long time, the whole system. But it's a machine. It's got fans. The fans pull in the air. As long as there's humidity in the air, then you're going to draw water out of the air. So if it pulls in the hot air, then you've got little coils, lots of coils, and then the air condenses onto those coils. Then it just forms water droplets, and it drips down. And it goes through filtration, goes through ultraviolet, goes into our bottling plant. Boom, there you go.
Wow, we have different seasons, Llama.
Like winter, summer, autumn, spring?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I thought you were going to teach me something new. Right?
We have different seasons. Can you guys obtain this water from the air throughout the year?
Throughout the year, as long as there's humidity.
Yeah.
So coastal regions are better. We can't really make it up in Joburg or Dubai.
Oh yeah.
It's super dry, 45
Understandably.
degrees in Dubai. If it's humid, then you can make water. So we will look around, putting them around the coastal regions, putting up a plant. It's easily doable.
Yeah. Now, Michelle, who's your target when it comes to selling Aquasky water? And is it easy really on the pocket? Because I can't just walk into a shop and they say, I'm 79.99.
No, it is.
In this economy.
No, so our target market is anyone that is drinking water and someone who wants an affordable water brand. So if you go into the shops, you'll see it is a lot cheaper than a lot of the other waters. And the fact that these new bottles are not even made of plastic.
What?
And that, yes, so they are not even a lot more expensive. So this is actually cheaper than some of the plastic brands that you're finding, and this is a decomposable bottle made of plants. And it looks like plastic, right?
It does look like plastic.
And it says in the bottle, I am not plastic. Bottle 100% made from plants filled with atmospheric generated aqua. Was this a conscious decision?
Definitely. I mean, the whole world is looking at plastic and the pollution that it creates, and it's a massive trend at the moment, and following points on social media. So for us, it was a natural choice. We do a lot of our own water. We even put in glass, so we've got a glass range. We have a plastic range as well, but now this is our new product where we've moved away from plastic and we're trying a plant-based product, the first in South Africa. We're going to see how well it takes off. We're hoping it does because it's great for the environment.
Yeah, Justine, when I was doing my opening link on top of the hour, I did something very naughty. I pulled a bottle from your crate. That water tasted delicious. However, when you came through on set, you said, it's water from the client. So I need to know, I am Llama Moon, and I've got a brand. I can come to Aquasky and request that you bottle water for me, and it will be branded Llama.
Correct. So you literally helped me in one of my selling points. So for clients that are big enough and they do enough water sales, and sure, we come to us, put your brand on it. We do a lot of brands in and around Cape Town. Ones, Fat Cactus around the corner, Carlucci's, Viand in Paul, which is Peter Goff Wood's new restaurant at the Grand Roche. We do Float Zero, we do guacamole. We've got a lot of clients that we're busy changing. We're trying to change a lot of them over from the traditional plastic as well to glass, because we've also got a refill system.
Sure. Yeah.
So the refill system is we bring them in a nice crate. They keep it in their restaurant. They've got the bottled water. When they finish, they put them back into the crate. We come and fetch them again. So you're taking a single-use glass product and making it a multiple-use glass product. So now it's gone from super eco-friendly water made from the air, but now we're also recycling the glass bottles as well for the clients.
Recycling and, of course, affordability goes hand in hand. That's great. I want to ask you, Michelle, how does it feel like to be the brand ambassador of such a great initiative?
I feel so honored, first of all, to be a part of such an amazing brand that is so eco-friendly. And I am a professional kite surfer, so I spend a lot of time in the ocean and on the beach, so I see the pollution right like in front of me on the beach and in the water all the time. And so for me, all that is all about healthy living and being eco-friendly. I'm so happy to be a part of this brand. And it's so appropriate because the brand is called Aquasky and my name is Michelle Sky.
Hey now, please take me with. Television presenting is so tiring. I could drink water for a living.
And look like that.
And look like that. What is...
You have to wakeboard though,
eh?
What was that, Lam? He didn't get it.
No, I missed it. What's the future for Aquasky?
Yeah.
What are your plans?
Well, moving forward, I mean, like I said, we just moved to Paul, so we've expanded a lot. Then we're looking to move around the country, go to other places. We're looking up the coast to open up a new branch. We're looking globally. We're looking Namibia. We're thinking Israel. We're thinking Western Australia. So we're hoping that a local Cape Town company can go international and be a brand that's recognized around the world. I mean, Aquasky just sounds like
sounds
international. And when there's a will, there's a way.
Definitely.
Now how do clients get hold of you?
Well, you can use our website, it's www.aquasky.co.za. They can email us at info@aquasky.co.za, and our social media handles are very easy to find. You just search for them as Aquasky Water and you'll find us. No problem.
We have to support local businesses so that they can go global. Guys, I'm sure you're leaving everything here for us, right?
You are? Guys, please, these people, Divan, stay away from this crate. No,
I'm bringing you Aquasky water.
No, it's ours. What excites you about your job? Because this is a very brilliant idea. You're saving the environment because climate change and water. What's the most exciting? Because you're doing something very important, but what makes you happy? Waking up in the morning and say, I'm going to Aquasky and I'm going to do this.
There's a lot of factors. I mean, I'm a graphic designer by trade and stuff, so I get to use my trade within my business. That's using that business is doing good for the environment.
Sure.
It's water. It's something that can go global. It's something that everyone needs.
Yeah.
It's an everyday sort of item that can go big, and I get to use my initial skill, my graphic design skill, to do the sales and marketing and help drive that. I get to still play with people's brands. So when, like you said, when you came, I want my brand on the bottle. I get to play around with it and throw it on there and say, how's that? How do you like that? And then
so you are truly passionate about this, which is something great.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it was an honor having you in the show.
Yeah,
Thank you
before
so
we
much.
let them go, very important, Michelle, since you're the brand ambassador, September 20th, it's National Recycling Day. What's your message to your consumers concerning this very important day?
So for us, we are so excited about the new eco bottle, which is plastic free or not made of plastic. And our message is that people need to start reducing the amount of plastic, stop littering, recycle, reduce, reuse, recycle, as they say. So that is our message to the consumer.
One thing I will say is that to all the viewers out there, get yourself Aquasky water and be hydrated.
Drink less wine and less beer and less whatever. And drink water from the air.
I drink water all the time.
It's time
I don't
for
know
us
about you.
To go to a musical interlude. We'll be right back. Tasty. What an exciting Wednesday. Lungelwa, a round of applause. She packaged a very beautiful episode of Ekse. If this was your favorite edition of Ekse, of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Ekse_live and let us know about it. Corner those posts today, you can ask us 021-448-0448 or can you email ekse@capetowntv.org. Of course, on Friday morning between 7 and 8, this very episode will be on your air to give you a repeat.
And of course on YouTube, we are on Excel and Cape Town TV. That is of course the incredible Simi titled Dear Sub. I'm sure other shows that plays at this time and other show channels are absolutely suffering.
What?
Because a big shout out to all of our students, the guests for coming through. I mean, like with Takunda, all the way from the Department of Engineering, AUCT. She's amazing. She's doing PhD. Cannot wait for her to be called a doctor.
Yes, Sangam Bigwana as well as Vuyo Jaboro Darling are going to be on your airways tomorrow between 4 and 5 on channel 260 on your DSTV. It's Talk Thursday, everybody. Us to follow us, go Ekse on Cape Town TV on your Facebook fan page and make sure that you're right here when we do this one more time.
Definitely. We are back tomorrow between 4 and 5 p.m. We're on social media, we're on YouTube. We are everywhere. Follow me, guys. It's Sinalo Jonas on Instagram and Twitter. I need followers.
Whatever. Driver Weekend is going to be here on Friday, bringing you home
I'll be
Friday.
here on Friday as
You do
well.
not want to miss it. Otherwise, it's time for us to say goodbye so long. My name is Llama Moon.
I'm Sinalo Jonas, but I
This
don't
is
have to put
Ekse.
flicky. I need to drink some water. Until next time, take care.